Welcome back to the show, everyone. Well, our next guests have co-authored the book Decolonization and Me, Conversations about Healing a Nation and Ourselves. It's written in response to the increase of residential school denialism. It's part memoir, it's part guidebook, giving readers tools to help us better understand truth and reconciliation and our responsibility in it.
Yes, and please welcome to the show the founder of the Orange Shirt Day movement, Phyllis Webstad, and educator and writer, Kristy McLeod. Great to have you ladies here today.
Welcome back to the show, Phyllis, too. So Phyllis, I really want to start with the first chapter of the book because it doesn't start with truth and reconciliation or defining things. It actually starts with something I didn't personally realize was happening, which is a movement of those who deny that residential schools ever existed. So why did you decide to start the book there?
Because that's the problem. And it does exist, and there are people out there that aren't aware of it. And so there's a lot of comments on Facebook, and not everybody is on social media. In my family, there is 14 of us, and I'm thankful that everyone made it home from my grandmother's family. But that's not the case for other families. They have brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles who didn't make it home. And we have enough to deal with without dealing with deniers. And so we wanted to put this on the table, put it out there so that we can have conversation and bring it out and maybe fill in that gap of knowledge and awareness for people, and just to let them know that it's hurtful.
Yeah, absolutely. And this book is just not a collection of stories. You also included definitions for terms like systemic oppression and truth and reconciliation. Kristy, tell me, why was that important to have that in the book as well?
Yeah, so I'm actually an English teacher, and so I understand the power of words. And sometimes we may be talking the same language, but we're not understanding really what we're talking about. And so I think it was really important to have those definitions so that people understood what we were talking about. And they actually are placed in the book after the context is kind of set. We give rationale, and then Phyllis and I introduce ourselves, and then it's the terms. So it's almost like setting that space so they understand where we're coming from, and then defining the terms.
And you also go further because at the end of every chapter, there's reflection questions. Why'd you do that?
I'm a teacher, as I said. And part of it is that when I'm teaching, I know, first of all, I want to set the students up. So at the beginning, we begin with questions that Phyllis and I have faced, common questions, and then information with our stories that helps to give that emotional connection, and finally the reflection questions that really were about slowing people down. Because I think often we become passive consumers of information and we don't take time to really reflect what it means to us. And so that was the purpose of having reflection questions at the end of each part.
I love that. And I understand that when you announced that you were going to write this book, that you were inundated with hateful comments. So talk to me about that experience and how that affected you.
Well, I understood in my head that this happens, but when it became directed at us, like hateful comments were directed at us personally, I had an emotional response, and that really was great sadness. That people actually feel free to do that on social media, and also that they obviously must not understand. Because to say those kinds of things about people without even knowing them, I believe is about a lack of understanding, a lack of relationship, a lack of connection.
What I found so powerful, absolutely, is that Phyllis, instead of ignoring it, you all decided to put it up so that other people could read the hate comments that you were all getting. So what was the point of that for you? Besides feeling a little bit of a back.
I collect hateful comments because it tells me the work that I have yet to do in this country. It gives me the gauge and a pulse on the work that is yet to do with the misunderstanding and the racism. And I look at it as the story's this long, and they may know a quarter, a half maybe, and they make up the rest. And that's where the racism and the hate comes in. So hopefully with this book, it might fill in a little bit of that gap so that their attitude and maybe their behavior will change towards Indigenous people.
Very, very quickly, who did you write it for, and who do you hope reads it?
Well, for me, I truly hope that everyone reads it. I think we all need to be educated, and maybe there are things that you're familiar with, but certainly I think that our personal stories help people emotionally attach and understand the impact of these things. And so it's for those people that actually are open-minded and open-hearted.
Decolonization in Me. Everybody go get a copy. Decolonization in Me. Thank you so much for writing it and for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.